everyone. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And today we got a great show. We're going to find out about astrology and Ophiuchus for sure with Lady Spellbreaker. Thank you for coming on. And we got anyway, we're going to continue on where we kind of left off. We want to find about Mars. And we left everybody hanging on Saturday last week, and we want to catch up on that and find out what's going on. This astrology thing fascinates me, and I'm sitting on the edge of my seat trying to find out about Mars and Ophiuchus.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and hello and welcome to everyone. Mars is my ruling planet, actually. I'm an Aries in 13 sign astrology. I'm also a Scorpio midheaven, and Mars rules both Aries and Scorpio. And it's also the pioneer and the beginning of the zodiac. Aries is. So like when we think of night and day, it's an opposite energy. As like an inhale and an exhale. So we could think of feminine and masculine as far as like signs go and energy. Mm-hmm. Fire is Mars. It symbolizes action, drive, courage, leadership, assertion, aggression, and anger. Mars is also known as the god of war. It's associated with physicality, competition, passion, impatience, and life force. Without Mars, we would get little done. Mars, to me, is one that gets things started. Mars isn't like a passive, watery sign. More like, Mars does rule Scorpio. So, the way I see it with astrology is like, since this new moon is in Scorpio at 0 degrees right tomorrow, mm-hmm. It's on the Libra and Scorpio line. So when Mars rules a sign like Scorpio, it's a feminine energy ruled by a masculine planet. Mm-hmm. So it's going to have a different feel than Pisces, who's ruled by Jupiter. That's a water planet. That's like a double feminine. Mm-hmm. How Libra is where the sun is today. And tomorrow the sun will enter Scorpio when we have the new moon. So like Libra is a masculine air sign, but it's ruled by Venus, a feminine sign. So it's not quite as masculine as Gemini.
Yeah, you can see. I put the chart up if you can see that. And when you're talking about it, I'm learning as I go here too. Mm-hmm. Mars and Venus Mars is the masculine, and the opposite side of the chart is Venus. That's where you get that from, right?
Well, yeah.
Mars and Venus is on the opposite side of Mars, so it balances it out.
Yeah, and it will balance it out. Like, it's almost good when you have a sign ruled by an opposite. Yes. Because then it will balance it. Like, Libras are more romantic because it's ruled by Venus, like Taurus.
Yes.
Venus rules Taurus and Libra.
Okay.
And so, like, Mars rules Scorpio and Aries. Okay. Now, with Mars ruling Aries, that's like a lot of fire masculine, like I said, aggression, competition, fighting, the god of war. Thank heavens Mars is in Taurus right now in retrograde.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's in a sign where it's cooled off a little bit, and it's got an earthy tone behind it, rather than Aries. If Mars was retrograde in Aries, I would tell everybody to watch out.
Okay.
I found myself being a little more affected
Yeah.
with this because I am ruled by Aries is my sun sign, and Mars. My midheaven is also at 0 degrees Scorpio. So
Okay.
right where this new moon is exactly where my midheaven, my 10th sign, which is my career. So where I make my impact in life is at 0 degrees Scorpio. So I always look at both energies. Like this new moon tomorrow is going to be on the line
Yeah.
of 0 degrees Scorpio and Libra. So
Okay.
I look at both of those energies. You would want to look at Libra and Scorpio.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You got Scorpio and Libra there. Okay, yeah, because the line's here. It's going to be right on the edge there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I get it. I get it.
And I
Yeah.
took a screenshot of the chart I use. It's on Instagram or over on my community tab.
You want to share that?
Well, I can send it to you
Okay.
on
Send it to me.
Instagram. How about that?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get it off there real fast and put it up. But anyway, yeah. You, yeah, you know way more about this than I do on these things. I am just fascinated by all of these pieces of the puzzle and how they affect you. And now, so if you're in Mars, you are an Aries,
Uh-huh.
okay, and you're in this Mars retro. What should I expect? You know?
I would think it might be making you a little more temperamental. If you're ruled by these signs, like with Jupiter stationing direct, like right now is
Yeah.
Mars is already in retrograde, but like I'm saying with Jupiter stationing back direct,
Mhm.
if Jupiter is real prevalent in your chart with Pisces, it's gonna intensify like your feelings. It's going to intensify. Jupiter was originally ruled Pisces, not Sagittarius, not a fire sign.
Okay.
And so I would say your dreams will be more heightened, your senses and intuition, because water signs are very much feelers, deep thinkers, dreamers. I am also, I'm on the Aries Pisces cusp. So I'm really feeling a lot of the shifting going on right now. And
All right, I think I got it. Look
do
at
you
that.
care if I move on to Jupiter? I want to talk
No,
about Jupiter
here's
too.
that thing you were talking about.
Awesome, yes.
This is it.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is how you're talking about all the little lines and how they go to the different places, and the new moon, you can see that there.
Yep.
Interesting. Interesting.
And your cursor was right. If you stay right there, yep. There's your sun and moon.
Okay.
And then it says 0 next to it, 0 degrees.
Yep.
I can even I do these charts. I can do your chart for you if you want for free.
That would be cool.
And then I kind of guide people on how to read it, and I want them to learn how to do it themselves.
Yeah. Like I said, this just kind of fascinates me how this works, and and what it all means. Because like you read your horoscope and you're like, wow, they got that right on. But that's because they're reading this chart here, and they're saying these things affect you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because I believe it's because when we are born, from the little research I've done, is I realize that as the moon, the stars, and everything's a frequency. And I put it together to understand it in my head like a, how should I say? I put it together to sound like a musical note chart, right? So like you're playing a song, and when your note comes up, it plays, but that frequency doesn't quite go away very fast, right?
Right.
It sticks around, but then it plays in harmony with all the other sounds that come next until it's played again.
Yes.
And therefore, all those other sounds around you affect you and affect like it's playing a musical note or a musical something or other. Anybody who studies music can figure that out. But I don't play music, but I can see how that would be an effective way to look at it. So, every note is affecting the other note.
Yes.
Right? Is that kind of not right?
No, you are right, because I tell people to look at the whole wheel, your whole astrology wheel. You're not just your sun sign. You're also your moon sign and your feelings. And you're also your rising sign. Like, to not limit us even to the one element. Like, oh, I'm just a water sign.
Yeah.
When
Well,
you start to really look at it and look at all of the different tones and energy and frequencies, you can be like, wow.
yeah, that's it. It's wow. But see, what they did is they assigned different animals, different people, and things that were in the heavens, with these notes that were affecting you that you could see in the stars. And that's where we get Ophiuchus from and stuff like that. Here's another one of those. And this is kind of a bigger chart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is Britney Spears' chart. I didn't realize that when I put that up. But anyway, this is just as one of those things. But anyway, here's the dates. Now I want to ask you a little bit about Ophiuchus. We were talking about Ophiuchus. Mm-hmm. That has been around for a long. Ophiuchus has been in the stars forever and a day. How come they don't have that on the wheel? It seems like it's a new thing.
My original websites that I used to go to disappeared. That happens.
Yeah.
But it was originally ancient Babylon.
Yeah.
That removed Ophiuchus.
Okay.
And they did it to accustom to their 12-month calendar.
Oh, okay.
And so what they did was took out Ophiuchus, even though the sun is only in Scorpio for 7 days, and the sun is in Ophiuchus from November 30th to December 17th.
Yep.
So technically, the galactic center of the Milky Way galaxy is Ophiuchus, right at the very center. There's an app called Star Walk.
Yeah.
And there's another one called Skyview Light, where you can hold your phone up at the sky and see where the sun is right this very second. And it'll show you that it's in Libra.
Uh-huh. Huh. That's pretty cool.
The ancient Egyptians used Ophiuchus.
Yeah.
It says it was the 13th sign in Egyptian zodiac, which is very interesting because I've seen biblical zodiacs begin with Virgo and end with Leo, like the Sphinx. Like beginning with the woman and ending with the lion.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, because this is a good chart. The old dates, and then it just jumps over from November, and then it just goes to December, and they skipped over this one. So yeah, that's kind of different.
December 17th is the day I lost my grandfather to suicide. So that date rings a bell with me, like when I see those things, it's almost, I take it as a sign from spirit guides that I need to go with it.
Yeah.
It's a synchronicity for me.
Yeah, and as you can see by this chart, and I don't know what all the words are on here because they're kind of small.
Yeah,
but you can see they align all this with the chakras of the body.
Yes.
I think, without, showing. See, you got your throat chakra here, your crown chakra here, your chakra here, and it works you down to your feet, etc., etc. Kind of interesting. So they knew about this, thousands of years ago. This is not something that just, started up yesterday, is it?
No, not at all. That is kind of what Carolyn Mace did in the book, The Secret Contracts.
Oh, wow.
She's got the archetypes. Like, she reads people
Yeah.
by their charts and the archetypes and all that stuff by energy.
Oh, yeah.
She
Yeah.
can, like Chiron, your Chiron placement will tell you what your core wound is that you need to work on. Whatever sign and house it's in, the house matters too.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
So, for example, my Chiron is in Aries, and my core wound is the loss of self. So it has to do with there's a lot of different websites that talk about Chiron and the wound.
Wow.
Chiron was like in some relation to Ophiuchus.
Yeah.
Eclipsius, is that Asclepius? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think so,
The
yeah.
wounded healer?
Yes.
Yeah, and so it all actually ties together.
Interesting.
Each sign is related to a body part.
Yes. Yeah, just as your chakras are, et cetera, they're all, they got to align. I know if you get your chakras out of line, then I look at it like back to that frequency. And that frequency is, if your chakras out of line, your note you're out of tune.
Yes.
And if you're out of tune, what does that bring along?
You're unbalanced and your life is going to be askew.
If you're unbalanced and stuff, then that brings along dis-ease, and that all that stuff like that. If you look at it like that, it brings along sickness, and it brings along bad karma or bad juju, because you're not in harmony with the world around you as you should be.
Right.
And when you're not, I've noticed that then the rest of the world that is in harmony, it attacks you to get rid of you or to make you back into harmony. And it's kind of like a bunch of dogs. I don't know if you've ever had a bunch of dogs, and the old dog kind of gets beat up because it can't. They all know it's getting sick and weak, and so they just bully that dog off to the side. And if it was in the wild, it would starve to death and die. But here we take care of them. But that they know it's ready to die. They know it's sick. They're not going to bring it food and set it in front of it and say, "Here, eat." We're going to carry you along and make you live as long as possible. You're diseased. You're sick. Goodbye. We're moving on. Bye-bye. That's it. Unless you get better right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's what I see. So that's important. And okay, so those are good questions. How do I make sure I'm in that my chakras are aligned? How do I make sure that I'm playing that note in harmony with the rest of the world?
I think keeping ourselves grounded in nature. I've noticed the internet is a very good place for resources and connecting with others and all of that type of stuff, but there has to be a balance there as well.
Yes.
We need to have outdoor time. I do a lot of videos about bicycle rides through the woods, trying to teach people to go to the park and embrace your inner child. Stay grounded, go get fresh air, balancing our creativity.
Yep.
Getting our artistic side, whether you're a water sign or not, those are things that we could all tap into. You see what I'm saying? Just because somebody is a Taurus sun doesn't mean they're only earth and that they only need to work with nature. It's not I'm finding so many people limit themselves inside. They stuff themselves inside their own little box by not being the whole. Did I say that right?
Yes. You know,
And
it's
they
kind of
want to
like,
be like, they get mad at me when I tell them that in 13 sign astrology, you're really an Aries. And I was mad because I have a Taurus symbol on my foot. We're tropical. And so when I first read about this back in probably 2013, I was like, what? I know dang Aries. And I was like, I got a Taurus tattoo on my foot. So thank heavens my Venus is still in Taurus, and that makes a lot of sense because I have a Taurus relationship personality. That's where my relationships are with Taurus and Venus. You see, so it's still a deep, earthy, loving, compassionate. My masculine self is an Aries, my sun sign. So when my ego steps in, it might come across as a fiery Aries instead of a Taurus.
well, that's pretty funny, you know. And I find that funny because what was it? You know, certain people, like you get along with certain people better than other people sometimes. And those are the signs that it's weird. How weird is that you get along better with certain people because they're a certain sign than you do with other people who are a different sign? Odd, very odd.
It is. And it's funny because probably very few people really see our sensitive moon feminine side. And this whole global thing is about awakening our divine feminine. Our true feeling self, because I think we're so detached from our feelings in many ways, which is our intuitive self, our divine feminine energy.
And that, I think that you got a good point there. By being on the computer, it has divided us from that other self, because we look at everything like, you know, it's just 2D here, you know, and we're just you know, I've never, you know, physically met you, but I know you. And you know, there's a lot of people like that. I've never actually physically met them, and then, you know, you get detached from the humanity of it. They have us playing video games or being on Facebook, and we're just looking for likes. Like, how many likes did I get? You know, how many this I got? And look, I'll post what I ate today, and somebody will give it a like, and I'm like, woo! You know, I posted a picture of my dog, and they gave me a like, woo! You know, but I never really
the pleasure center of your brain, by the way.
But I never contacted or had human interaction with anybody. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you didn't go outside. You didn't hug a tree. You didn't put your feet in the ground. You didn't breathe the fresh air. You sat in your house and you interacted with a flat screen and other people. Is that the same? No. Yes, exactly.
This pandemic has I'm really becoming aware of that, teaching us not to touch each other when I'm trying to teach people to not spend as much time on technology, and it's a really funny line I'm standing on.
Yeah, they're telling us not to touch, and then you're saying, but see, in the real world, you got to go out and touch. That's what makes us human. Is the fact that we have contact. We have these, you know, we have these things called fingers and hands and emotions and hormones, and we need to stimulate those, and you can't stimulate them by being on Facebook getting likes, like you were saying. What did you say that was? That I get that stimulation by?
It's feeding them. As a matter of fact, I got a brain image from my psychologist. It is producing oxytocin, the love hormone.
Ah.
Socializing. And that's it. What is this that we're all even on? Social
Wow.
media,
Yeah.
YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we can't do it, and guess what? The next one that produces it below socializing is physical touch. Also, and petting animals and helping others.
Yeah.
So, I teach a lot about codependency and how humans become dependent on helping others. So,
Yeah.
making sure we also help ourselves in the act of helping others. Don't forget yourself, is what I teach all the time.
Yes, that's so much. I've realized that I've done that sometimes. Like, I'll make a list of things to do, and I
Mm-hmm.
usually work off that list so I get my things done. But one day I realized I made that list and I never put anything on that list for me. I put on, do this, do that, clean the house, wash the dishes, pack the lunches, things like that. Do. Okay. Well, what did I put? Somebody said, well, what did you do for yourself? Uh, Nothing. Well, you need to put something on there for you, like go for a hike, read a book, go for a walk. It's something that you would enjoy to do, and try to do that too, to make that balance, like you said, so you stay in harmony. I was like, wow, that is so cool. Yeah, good idea. Just didn't dawn on me. I was thinking like like I got to get these things done, and and I should be in balance. No, you're not.
Even
So,
it's coming with to putting yourself on there is even self-care, because
yeah,
like a lot of people, especially I would say water signs, which are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, are more sensitive because they're the watery feminine side, as well as the earth signs are feminine energy, earth
yep,
and water. So I would say they're more sensitive,
mm-hmm,
more susceptible to things like depression. And one of the things that has really been happening through the whole pandemic is people get depressed when they're stuck in isolation. And so, taking time to take care of yourself, get a massage, that you do deserve it.
yeah,
Go get a massage if you're a hard worker. You don't always have to buy fancy or new technology. If your body's hurting and you could really use a massage, go get one.
yeah,
Your body will thank you later.
yeah. Besides that, you're getting that human touch of somebody massaging you,
Yes.
regardless of where it comes from. And that's all part of it. So you got to have balance. I like
Yeah.
that. Now I've learned a
Yes.
little bit about astrology, and I hope everybody else has too.
Uh,
So we're at our end of our short today, and thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure. I hope everybody learned a little bit about we covered a lot of subjects today. But remember, go out, not only do something for yourself, but do something for others, and it helps you too. Go out, wave to your neighbor, give them a big smile if nothing else. It doesn't cost you anything. Offer to open the door when you're at the grocery store for somebody, or maybe even bag up their groceries, or I don't know, just smile at them and nothing else, and do and it'll reflect back on you, and that's what I always say. So go out and remember, be the frequency you want to receive, and make it a great day. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.